jump in here. Kind of just, high level, kind of like Jason was saying before we push record, 101 class, right? What is a reverse mortgage? Like, what would that look like? Just so, in basic terms.
It's a loan. So it allows a senior, and it could be, the ages vary depending on the type of reverse mortgage, but most people get the FHA insured home equity conversion mortgage. So, or HECM for short. And that one, you got to be at least 62 years old. So it's designed for older homeowners to be able to tap into their equity for any purpose that they wish. And it's especially useful for people that are on a fixed income, to be able to tap into the equity while they still have full ownership of the house and full use of the home. So that's something that a lot of people don't realize, that you're not giving up ownership. You still have ownership, but it's kind of like you can't live in your 401k, but you can live in your house and still utilize the equity.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I think, a lot of people, and especially in Hawaii, we might go here in the conversation, but a lot of it is, a lot of people are home rich in a sense, whereas, they don't have a lot of assets outside of that in some cases. So yeah, that's such a good point to be able to say, like, you still own your house, but you have the ability to access some of that equity. So that's really good. So in a sense, like, maybe go a little bit deeper, I guess, just to kind of understand that a little bit more. Like, so like, they have to own their home. So can they have a mortgage on the house already? How, like, what does that look like? Or, do they have to make payments still, or what does that look like in traditional sense?
Okay. Let's look at the name first, reverse mortgage, versus a traditional mortgage or forward mortgage. So when you have a regular mortgage, of course, the bank or the lender gives you money, and then every month you have to make payments back when they're due. Otherwise, you could get foreclosed on, right? Because you're not following your agreement with the financial institution, and they want you to agree to several things, like making the payments, paying your property taxes and homeowners insurance, taking care of their collateral, which is your house, and so on. So the reverse mortgage does have some of the same things, like you have to pay your property taxes and homeowners insurance. That's their responsibility. And the lender does give you money to use, but the difference is that on a reverse, the lender is deferring payments until a time where the borrower permanently leaves the home or they pass away. So it's a cash flow product. If you're not having to make payments to a lender for money that they're giving to you, then that's money that you can use for other things. So I always tell people, if you're looking for a way to improve your cash flow in retirement, then consider, and you're a homeowner, then consider the reverse mortgage. The number one reason, which is what you just mentioned, Paul, why people get a reverse mortgage is actually to pay off an existing mortgage balance, right? So it can free up, like, let's just say, somebody's making $2,000 a month in mortgage payments, and then they refinance it into a reverse. Now those payments are deferred until, like how I mentioned earlier. So every month now they have $2,000 that would normally go to the lender, but it's still in their bank account.
Gotcha.
And that can be something that just gives retirees, especially those on a fixed income, so much financial freedom, right? So much relief. So that's the main reason why people do get a reverse. But there are other reasons as well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The opinions and statements presented on this show are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations. Never make any investment or financial decisions based on information offered on this show without first consulting your financial, legal, or tax advisor. All economic and performance information mentioned on the show is historical in nature and is not indicative of any future results. All indices mentioned on this show are unmanaged and cannot be invested in directly. All information is believed to be from reliable sources. However, we make no representation as to its completeness or accuracy. Lastly, all opinions opinions expressed by Jason Cutitta and any guests on the show are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of or are endorsed by ToBA Financial. For Jason Cutitta, investment advisory services are offered through ToBA Financial LLC, a registered investment advisor offering advisory services in the state of Hawaii and in other jurisdictions where exempt from registration.